At the very heart of the human spiritual quest lies a single burning question. How does the inner world of our imagination, a realm seemingly made of nothing more than ethereal thought and fleeting feeling, impress itself upon the solid, tangible world of fact and circumstance? How does a deeply held vision, a ghostly blueprint held only in the cathedral of the mind, eventually manifest as a stone and mortar reality you can touch with your own hands? This is the fundamental mystery of creation, the alchemy that has fascinated mystics, artists, and philosophers for millennia. It is a process that most of the world dismisses as fantasy, yet one that a few have claimed to have mastered as a divine and workable science. And perhaps none have described this sacred mechanism with more clarity, power, and precision than the 20th century mystic Neville Goddard. Neville was not a philosopher of abstract ideas. He was a master technician of the unseen. His entire life's work was dedicated to a single radical premise, that your imagination is the one and only creative reality, and that the physical world is merely its faithful, obedient shadow. He provided a system, a set of powerful psychological and spiritual tools, designed to teach individuals how to move from the inner state of a desire to its outer fulfillment. For Neville, this was not a matter of hope or a game of chance. It was the application of an immutable law, a law as real and as dependable as gravity. He taught a method for traversing the invisible bridge that connects the world of your imagination to the world of your senses. But while Neville was teaching this profound spiritual art in the lecture halls of New York and Los Angeles, another parallel revolution was taking place in the pristine laboratories and on the chalkboards of quantum physics. Scientists, peering into the very building blocks of the material world, were discovering a reality so strange, so paradoxical, that it defied all common sense. They found that at its most fundamental level, the universe is not made of tiny solid things. They discovered the astonishing principle of wave-particle duality. This principle states that the fundamental constituents of our reality, electrons, photons, the very stuff of existence, exist not as fixed objects, but as a shimmering ethereal wave of pure potential, a ghostly cloud containing every possibility at once, spread out across space and time. This wave is the unseen reality. It is the unmanifested, and yet the moment a conscious observer decides to measure or look for that particle, the wave instantly collapses, and a single, solid, definite particle appears in a specific location. The cloud of infinite potential, under the gaze of observation, crystallizes into a single hard fact. This is the central, unsettling mystery of quantum mechanics. How does the ethereal wave of what could be become the solid particle of what is? What is the force that commands this transformation? Here, the two great mysteries, that of the mystic and that of the physicist, converge with a brilliant flash of insight. How does the unseen image in your imagination become a seen fact in your world? How does the unseen wave of potential become a seen particle in an experiment? What if these are not two different questions, but the very same question, asked in two different languages? This exploration is built upon a grand and startling premise that the secret quantum law Neville Goddard intuitively mastered is the law of the observer effect, the law of wave-particle duality, applied not just to subatomic particles but to the very substance of your reality. His techniques are a masterclass in how to consciously and deliberately collapse the wave of your desire into the particle of your experience. He may not have used the language of quantum physics, but in teaching you to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, he was teaching you, in the most practical way possible, how to become the conscious observer whose unwavering feeling-rich gaze gives form to the infinite potential of the universe. This is the secret we will now decode. If this exploration resonated with the part of you that knows there is more to reality than what we see, then our journey together has only just begun. Each week we delve into the profound mysteries of consciousness, from ancient wisdom to modern science, to help unlock the secrets of your own magnificent being. Subscribe and activate the bell to join a community of fellow navigators and seekers. Let's continue to explore the unseen together. To master the art of conscious creation, you must first understand the substance upon which you are working. The great secret revealed by quantum physics, a secret that the mystics have always known, is that reality has two faces. One face is visible, solid, and seemingly fixed. The other is invisible, fluid, and filled with infinite potential. The first is the world of the particle. The second is the world of the wave. Your life is a constant creative dance between these two fundamental states of being, and the secret law is simply the knowledge of how to move from one to the other at will. Let us first consider the wave. This is the unseen, unmanifested realm of pure potentiality. In the language of physics, it is the wave function, a ghostly mathematical description of every possible state a system could be in, all existing simultaneously. In the language of Neville Goddard, this is quite simply your own wonderful human imagination. It is the kingdom of heaven within you. In this inner world, nothing is yet solid. Everything is possible. You can be anything, have anything, do anything. It is a luminous, fluid ocean of maybes, a vibrant, shimmering cloud of every possible future, every alternate reality. The desire you hold in your heart for perfect health, for soaring success, for profound love, in the realm of the wave, in your imagination, it already exists as a complete, perfect, vibrational reality. It is a symphony waiting to be played, a finished sculpture waiting to be unveiled from the uncarved stone. This is the true primary reality, the world of cause, the realm of pure creative spirit. Now consider the particle. This is the world your five senses report to you. It is the solid, seemingly unchangeable world of facts and circumstances. It is the number in your bank account, the diagnosis from your doctor, the reflection you see in the mirror. It is a single collapsed reality, a single photograph chosen from the infinite roll of film. In physics, this is what happens when the wave of potential is measured or observed. It freezes into a single definite particle in a single place and time. In Neville's teaching, this is the world of Caesar, the world of shadows, the world of dead facts. It is crucial to understand this. Your physical reality is not the living creative thing. It is the result of a past creative act. It is an echo, a historical record of where you have previously placed your focus and feeling. To treat the world of particles as the primary reality is to be hypnotized by a shadow, to believe that a reflection in a mirror is the source of your own face. This brings us to the ultimate question, the bridge that connects these two faces of reality. What is the force that collapses the infinite, unseen wave into the single seen particle? In quantum physics, the answer is as mysterious as it is profound. It is the act of observation. The moment the scientist decides to look for the particle, its wave of potential vanishes, and a single particle appears. The observer's focused attention is the creative force that summons actuality out of potentiality. And here is the secret Neville taught, the law he never named but perfectly described. Your focused, feeling-rich assumption is the quantum act of observation. Your consciousness, when stabilized in a particular feeling state, is the divine observer that collapses the infinite wave of your desire into the finite particle of your experience. When you simply think of wealth, the wave of potential remains a shimmering, unmanifested cloud. But when you, in your imagination, enter the state of being wealthy, when you feel the relief, the security, the freedom of it as a present fact, you are performing the most powerful measurement in the universe. You are focusing the lens of your awareness. You are observing the one reality you have chosen, and in doing so, you are commanding it to become a particle, to solidify, to become a hard physical fact. The wave is your imagination, where all things are possible. The particle is your physical reality, a frozen reflection of a past choice. And you, the observer, through the sacred power of your own feeling and assumption, are the master of the dance between them. Imagine a vast and desolate desert, and in its center a magnificent, impenetrable walled city. Let us call this city Jericho. This city represents your highest desire, your most cherished dream made manifest. It is the reality of perfect health, of boundless abundance, of profound love. It stands before you, complete and beautiful, yet its gates are barred, and its colossal walls seem to mock your longing. They are the very picture of an unchangeable external fact, and so you resolve to conquer it. You gather your army, the army of your willpower, your physical effort, your logical plans, your brute force. You march upon the city and throw everything you have at its walls. You push, you strive, you strategize, you exhaust every possible means of external effort. But the great walls do not yield. They do not even tremble. Your struggle against the city only serves to prove its immense, unshakable power, leaving you weary, frustrated, and convinced of your own powerlessness before it. This is the story of humanity trying to change the world of particles by fighting against particles. It is a noble and an utterly futile struggle. Into this scene of despair walks a strange figure, an alchemist of the mind, a mystic who understands the deeper laws of reality, a teacher like Neville. He sees your exhausted army, your bruised shoulders, your hopeless gaze upon the walls. He does not offer you a stronger battering ram or a cleverer military strategy. Instead, he offers a single paradoxical instruction. Stop fighting the walls, he says, his voice calm and certain. The walls are not the cause of your exile. They are the effect. They are the shadow cast by your own belief in separation. They are a stubborn echo of an old song. To enter the city, you must not shatter its walls from without. You must dissolve them from within, by learning to sing the new song of the city already conquered. The mystic teaches you the true alchemical art. He instructs you to gather your followers and to march around the city for 7 days. But you are not to carry weapons. You are not to shout threats at the walls. Your only task, your only weapon is to enter into and sustain the feeling, the absolute sensory conviction that you are already celebrating the victory feast inside the city walls. You must, in your imagination, silence the evidence of the desert around you and awaken the inner senses to the reality of the wish fulfilled. You must feel the cool stone floors of the palace beneath your feet. You must hear the joyous music and laughter of the victory celebration echoing in the streets. You must taste the wine of abundance, smell the fragrant incense of peace, and feel on your hand the immense satisfying weight of the key to the city, a key you already possess. This is the great work. For 7 days, you and your followers march. You ignore the towering, intimidating walls. You deny the evidence of the hot sun and the barren sand. Your entire being becomes a focused, resonant instrument, vibrating with the single, unwavering frequency of triumphant fulfillment. You are no longer a warrior fighting a battle. You are a king enjoying his kingdom. You have collapsed the wave of your desire into a stable, internal feeling state. You have become one with the reality you chose. And on the 7th day, as you complete your final circuit, you are instructed to let out a great shout. This shout is not a weapon to break the walls. It is a final, outward expression of the inner truth you have so faithfully cultivated. It is the particle of sound born from the perfect, sustained wave of your feeling. And as you release this shout of pure, realized faith, the spooky action occurs. The great stone walls of Jericho, the hard facts of your old reality, do not explode outwards. They dissolve. They shimmer like a heat haze and collapse into dust, for their foundation in your belief has been utterly removed. They fall because their reality can no longer be sustained in the face of the new, more powerful, and more coherent reality you have created within yourself. You do not break into the city. You simply walk unhindered into the reality you have chosen to occupy, a reality that was in truth always available to you. The story of Jericho is not just a myth. It is a precise technical manual for the art of conscious creation, a guide to collapsing the unseen wave of your desire into the solid particle of your experience. To wield this power consciously, to move from being a person to whom things happen to the person who makes things happen, requires not a struggle but a discipline of the imagination, a practical alchemy of 4 distinct stages. This is the art of moving from wave to particle, the sacred practice of collapsing your chosen reality from the infinite field of potential. The first stage is defining the particle. You cannot collapse a vague wave. An unfocused desire is like a diffuse, misty cloud with no coherent form. It has no clear reality to crystallize into. Before you enter the creative state, you must know with absolute crystalline clarity what it is you intend to create. And this clarity must be focused on the end, not the means. Do not concern yourself with how the walls of your Jericho will fall. Concern yourself only with what life will be like once you are living inside the city. What is the ultimate desire? Is it the feeling of security? The feeling of profound love? The feeling of radiant health? You must define this end state, this particle of experience, so clearly that it becomes a single, sharp and unwavering point of focus in your mind. This is the destination you will give to your consciousness. The second stage is to enter the wave state. This is the practical art of accessing the quantum field of all potential, the unseen realm where your desire already exists as a possibility. To do this, you must follow Neville's most famous instruction. You must enter the state akin to sleep or sets. This is a state of profound physical and mental relaxation, that drowsy, hypnotic borderland you inhabit just before sleep claims you, or in the first soft moments upon waking. By immobilizing your physical body and quieting the loud, argumentative conscious mind, you open the door to the subconscious, the vast, creative, wave-like dimension of your being. In this state, you are no longer fully identified with the particle of your current physical reality. You are resting in the fluid, responsive wave nature of pure consciousness itself. This is the workshop of creation. The third and most crucial stage is to become the resonance. This is the act of observation, the practice of collapse itself. Here in the wave state, with your body still and your mind receptive, you must construct a short, simple, sensory-rich scene that would imply your desire is already a fact. If you desired health, you might imagine a friend congratulating you on your vibrant appearance, and you would feel the genuine warmth of their handshake and hear the specific words, "You've never looked better." If you desired security, you might feel the solid, real key to your new home in your hand, feeling its cool metal and its specific weight. You must use all your imaginary senses to make this scene feel real. But most importantly, you must generate the feeling, the emotional resonance of the wish fulfilled. It is the feeling of relief, of gratitude, of quiet, joyful peace. This sustained, sensory-rich feeling is the conscious, focused observation that collapses the infinite wave. It is the specific frequency that commands the corresponding particle to appear. You loop this feeling-rich scene over and over until it feels more real than anything else, until you are filled with the serene knowing that it is done. The fourth and final stage is to trust the collapse. Once the imaginative act has been performed with faith and feeling, your work in the unseen is finished. The seed has been planted. The measurement has been made. The wave has been collapsed. Now you must have the faith to let it be, to trust the bridge of incidents that the universe will now construct in the outer world to bring your new reality to you. To worry, to doubt, to constantly check for results, is to introduce a new, chaotic observation that can interfere with the process. You must drop it. You must go about your day with the quiet, inner conviction of your new reality, regardless of what the shadow world of your senses may still show you. By defining your particle, entering the wave state, becoming the resonance, and trusting the collapse, you move from wishful thinking to conscious creation, wielding the most fundamental law of the cosmos with grace, precision, and unwavering faith. We began our journey with a profound and ancient question. How does the unseen world of imagination become the solid world of our experience? We followed this mystery into the heart of Neville Goddard's teachings and found its stunning parallel in the strange and beautiful world of quantum physics. We saw that reality exists in two states: the infinite fluid wave of all potential and the single definite particle of all actuality. We learned through the allegory of Jericho that the path from one to the other is not through force but through resonant faith. And we have outlined the sacred practical art of collapsing the wave, of defining the particle, entering the wave state, becoming the resonance, and trusting the inevitable outcome. Now, at the culmination of our exploration, we arrive at the final, simple, and world-altering truth. The secret quantum law that Neville Goddard so perfectly described and utilized is this: you are the observer. Your consciousness, your awareness of being, is the one and only collapsing force in your personal universe. It is the gaze of God, individualized as you, that looks upon the infinite possibilities of the wave state and commands one, and only one, to become a particle, a hard fact, a tangible experience. Every other power, every other cause you have ever believed in, luck, chance, circumstance, the will of others, is a shadow. The one true operant power is the focus of your own feeling-rich awareness. This is the ultimate, transformational call to action. It is an invitation to enact the most profound shift in identity imaginable. You must cease identifying with the particle. You are not your body. You are not your bank account. You are not your relationships. You are not your past. These are all particles, effects, temporary forms that have been crystallized out of the great wave by a previous act of observation. Your true nature is, and always has been, the observer, the formless, timeless, and ever-present consciousness that has the freedom to choose which particle to bring into focus next. To be trapped in your current reality is to be a creator hypnotized by your own creation, a painter who has forgotten they are holding the brush, believing instead they are merely a figure in the painting. To live from this knowing is to re-enchant your entire existence. The world ceases to be a fixed, intimidating, and solid thing that happens to you. It becomes a fluid, responsive, and shimmering sea of pure potential that is constantly awaiting the direction of your gaze. Your imagination is no longer a faculty for idle fantasy. It becomes the most sacred space, the quantum workshop where you select and rehearse the reality you wish to call forth. Your feelings are no longer random reactions, they are the very energy, the resonant frequency that powers your creative observation and makes it effective. You begin to walk through the world not as a victim of circumstance, but as the serene and silent cause of it, knowing that the world must by law reflect the truth of what you have assumed yourself to be. Therefore, become aware of your gaze. Recognize that your sustained attention charged with feeling is the most powerful and precious resource you possess. Do not squander it upon the waves of reality you do not wish to see collapse into particles. Turn your focus away from the evidence of your problems and place it, with unwavering, loving faith, upon the feeling of the solution already being a fact. This is the Creator's gaze. It is the force that gives form to the formless, that brings light to the darkness, that calls worlds into being. The universe is not separate from you, judging your efforts. It is a flawless, loving mirror, and its only desire is to reflect back to you the beauty of the state you have chosen to occupy within. The spooky action at a distance that so baffled Einstein is the very proof of your intimate, instantaneous connection to all things. The secret whisper from the cosmos that says, "I am not other than you. Assume your desire, and I must bring it to pass."